Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today's February 14th, and right now we're looking at the mid-level water vapor loop. We got the trough over the west coast here, some chilly conditions, snow still flying, very cold Cascades east, but we do have a change coming here. Hold on through today if you're west of the Cascades, Seattle, Portland. As you go through tonight, you're going to be going back above freezing here and start to bring some onshore flow into the region and go to a more normal pattern here. But things are not going to be so quick to warm up Cascades east even as we go through next week. So we'll take a look at those details. We'll take a look at the extended forecast all the way on in through March towards the end of the video. You won't want to miss that. So stay tuned here as we go through the video here this morning. Looking at Portland, 30 degrees, still snowing out there. Treacherous conditions. Be very careful. Do not travel if you don't have to. The good news is for Eugene and Salem, we have gone above freezing. It's still snow at Salem, but it is above freezing. Eugene's been reporting freezing rain this morning also. If you go east, look at the Dalles, and you go down towards Redmond, you're still dealing with very chilly temperatures here and the snow flying. There's Pendleton, 20 degrees, and snow is falling. Spokane, 24 degrees, snow is falling as well. Looks like the snow just wrapped up there at Stampede Pass, 17 degrees. So be careful going back and forth across the mountain passes as well. 32 degrees and snowing in Seattle. But if you go down the Oregon coast, you can kind of see that warmer air starting to make its way in there. And you see we'll go down towards North Bend. We've got 45 degrees, and things are warming up there all the way down towards Cold Beach as well. Roseburg there at 44, and we got Grants Pass there at 41 degrees as well. And if you want a nice affordable home weather station and help support the channel, click on the link down below to save 10% off. Great smartphone app, highly recommended weather station. You'll have it up and running in minutes after you get it. Winter weather advisories will be expiring this morning for Western Washington. It is snowing a little bit at my house, got about 1/10 of an inch out there, so do be careful. It's still a little bit slick. It's very close to freezing, so heads up for that. We've got still below normal temperatures across Portland, below freezing right now. We are starting to warm up a bit here, and the ice storm warning will be wrapping up this morning, but this winter storm warning right there, it does go on through about 10 a.m. this morning as well, and you can see that heavy wet snow, additional snow accumulations up to 2 inches. Portland Metro Lowlands, Greater Vancouver Metro, and Portland West Hills, and Chehalem Mountain. So yeah, heads up for that. And if you're out and about there, you don't need me to tell you that. But if you are traveling down towards Portland or something, be prepared for the drop in temperatures from Seattle towards Portland. Pendleton's still under the winter storm warning, winter weather advisories all over the place out there. You saw the precipitation moving around. And Spokane put this out this morning. Again, Pullman 2 to 3, another 1 to 2 for Walla Walla. And again, you're in the 20s out there, so quite treacherous. Lookout passes on I-90, another additional 4 to 6 inches as you go through the night tonight. So if we take a look at where we are right now, the North American model is coming in as we speak, and you still see as we go through about 8 a.m. still right around freezing for a lot of Western Washington, and Portland still below freezing. But as we go towards about the noon hour right there, look how things warm up. We turn things back onshore and we start to definitely warm it up. I mean, look at this, Seattle 40, Portland starting getting back up towards 40, but not as quickly east of the mountains. Although some areas get above freezing, that's going to drop back down as we go through tonight. So you're going to get some refreezing of anything that does thaw as we go through the day to day for eastern Washington and eastern Oregon. So heads up for that. Make some very treacherous conditions, and that's going to kind of be the theme here as we go through the upcoming week and kind of see some some thawing and then some refreezing in the overnight hours with additional rounds of snowfall through next week as well. So let's take an initial look at that here on the European last night. The freezing rain, the snowfall for Portland, some of that snow for Seattle, eastern Washington, eastern Oregon. As we scroll through tonight, we get a little bit of a break there, and then we bring the next system here, and we may have some freezing rain trapped in some of the colder air that is trapped along the Cascades, and a glaze possible for portions east with some additional snowfall with that. But for Cascades west, Portland, Willamette Valley, Western Washington, Southwest BC. After today, we're going to warm up. We're not going to be dealing with wintry precipitation at least for a while. And then we got another system probably coming in at some point midweek as well. So this is kind of interesting. You can see Eugene, and you can see the profile there just off the surface. It was above freezing here, but again, the surface temperature was right down near freezing, and some of the objects there were still below freezing through last night and this morning. That's why the freezing rain was continuing. Again, the lower level cold air trapped the surface there for Eugene, Oregon. This is Seattle, Tacoma. Let me back this up, and you can kind of see as we go through this morning, the profile at the surface, very close to freezing. But that does support snowfall down towards the surface there. It's what's going on right now. But as we go through again this afternoon, you can see the temperatures go above freezing, and they will stay there, for the foreseeable future. But yeah, That's good to see there for anybody out having to travel out and about and commuting here over the next few days for sure. So if we take a look here at the North American Well, you can see the Fraser River outflow still the last gasp of it as we go through this morning. Then the onshore flow returns westerlies back through the gorge there, and that's what's going to warm us up as we go through the day today. And it'll warm some portions up, like I said. So watch for that refreezing for tonight. Now, let's take a look at the GFS. We'll look a little bit off into the extended forecast here. There's the troughing we're dealing with now. We get a transient ridge, and the next system comes rolling in here as we go through Saturday night on in through Sunday. And then we get another transient ridge. Another system tries to make its way towards the Pacific Northwest as we go through midweek. And then we're going to have kind of this ridging and some of this troughing across the Gulf of Alaska. This may keep us in a fairly moist flow with additional systems, frontal systems, trying to get into the Pacific Northwest as we go on in through next week. And then who knows what's going to happen after that. But you can kind of see the troughing hangs around all the way through the end of the month towards the early portion of March. So what would that look like here? So this system is wrapping up as we go through today and tonight, pushing off to the east. The next system rolls in. Cascade snowfall, potential some areas of localized freezing rain with that one. And again, another round of snow for eastern Washington, Oregon. Plain old rain for Seattle and the Willamette Valley, Portland. And then we go off in towards next week. And again, another plain old rain event here for Seattle, Portland. But again, additional snowfall potential, eastern Washington, eastern Oregon with that. And then we go off into the extended. You can see, again, round after round of precipitation, even some atmospheric river potential as we go on in towards the second half of February there. And then maybe some kind of a break. But that's way too far from Fantasyland to worry about that. So if we take a look at something fun here, this is the European weeklies, the extended run. So this goes day at a time. So here we go. This is going on through this weekend. That's our next system. Then we get another system potentially midweek coming up here. And then again, you can see the Gulf of Alaska troughing here, probably keeping us quite active through the second half of February. And then the models have been showing this a little bit. Look at this troughing here still across some of western Alaska. That could keep us chilly into March. You can still get lower elevation snow potential into Seattle and even Portland, southwest BC, and kind of showing kind of a La Nina-like pattern here with the ridging out over the Pacific Ocean and have a cool northwesterly flow. But we'll continue to watch this and see if this is on to something as well. So yeah, you can kind of that troughing hanging out through much of the month of March on the European extended weeklies. 6 to 10 day. Here's the above normal starting to return here to the Pacific Northwest. Kind of a mixed bag still though. And there's the 6 to 10 day precipitation. Look at that. A big time difference between southern Oregon, some of Washington, British Columbia here. We'll see how that pans out. We'll be watching those systems one at a time. 8 to 14 day west, yin and yang versus the east. Very apparent there. And the 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook. Again, kind of a mixed bag here across the Pacific Northwest, but we'll be breaking those systems down one at a time. And the snowpack is below normal for Washington, Idaho, and Montana, but Oregon's still doing pretty well. These numbers have dropped off a bit here in recent times. So this will be changing here with the pattern change. Hopefully we can get things back up towards normal. And check before you go, avalanche.org may just save your life and you'll become better prepared for the conditions that are out there. You see there are some high across Idaho and some of northeast Oregon there. There's some considerable across some of the Cascades of Washington also. And the drought monitor here does have some reintroduction of some moderate drought across the Cascades and the Olympic Peninsula. And you can see it across the southwest USA as well. And they do talk about this. Washington, northwest Montana saw moderate drought expansion despite recent snow accumulations, are still experiencing large moisture deficits here. So we can go and check the anomaly as well. And you can really see that since November 15th. Look at just how dry it's been across western Oregon, western Washington, especially the Cascades. Some deficits up over a foot of precipitation there, and even higher across some of the Olympic Peninsula. So that's why that drought was reintroduced. But if you look at eastern Washington, eastern Oregon, pretty wide swath of some slightly above normal precipitation departure from average. It's hard to tell because that's between 0 and 4 inches, so it might just be slightly above. But yeah, you can kind of see Northern California included in that, and some of southwest Oregon also above average also. But kind of an interesting look there at the deficit we've been running here across some of the Cascades of Washington and Oregon. And if you got people down across the Mississippi River Valley here, heads up for this as we go through the day tomorrow. Check out that strong tornadoes are possible there. Just thought I'd throw that in there as well. So, yeah. It's getting to be that time of season again where the tornadoes start returning here to Tornado Alley, and Dixie Alley is what they call it here across the southeast portion of the USA. But anyway, I'll kick this video out. Hope you guys are enjoying the last gasp of winter weather here across Seattle. Portland hanging on a bit longer, but if you're east of the Cascades, you've got winter weather to deal with as we go on into next week as well. But anyway, hope you guys are having a good day. Otherwise, click like and subscribe. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.